Over in Pokemon Masters, the Academy arc continues progressing forward as another member of Team Star has made their way to Pasio, that being Eri, who teams up with Annihilate. I figured after discussing the last event that introduced Giacomo and began the Academy arc, I would follow up with the next little chapter. It's actually a pretty fun time as it starts off with a battle between Crash Awake and the Masked Royal. Meanwhile, Celine, Barry, and Penny watch from the crowd. Though as expected, the first two are really into the match as their respective regions are represented, and we know they're really into the theatrics from a previous event, though Penny herself isn't as enthused. But it's kinda neat how she later makes the connection between enjoying wrestling and watching hero shows. But she's caught by surprise once Eri steps into the ring and shakes things up during the battle. I actually like the idea that we got a whole group of trainers based on wrestling personas, and I'm glad that they all get to interact here on Pasio. After the battle, we learned that it wasn't a surprise and her crashing the party was planned from the beginning after both Masked Royal and Crash Awake recognized her battle skills. And when they catch up, Penny informs Eri of the situation going on with the Pasio Academy that they're all still working to get established. Also here I realized just how tall she is compared to everybody else, particularly because Clavel is actually pretty short, but I believe when you put everybody together, she's just about the tallest character in this game and by extension the second tallest in the main series, because I don't think anybody's ever going to beat AZ. Dang, I couldn't imagine what it'd be like if they added him to Masters. Anyway, back to the story, Giacomo lets Eri know that they're having a little trouble getting people interested in the idea of a school on the island, because not everybody has had the most positive experiences in the past. And yeah, it does sound like a weird thing to build on Pasio, but remember that the Paldeans are doing it because school was where they met their greatest treasures, each other. And even after Eri endorses the Academy in front of a large audience, not everybody is sold on the idea. From the outside, they all think she's some perfect strong trainer who wouldn't know what it's like to be weak. And dang, they're really just gossiping out in the open where people can hear them. Though I really like how Eri seeks the counsel of Professor Kukui, just on the basis of them both being into wrestling with the Professor's Masked Royal persona. But even when it comes to the fact that Kukui literally was the main person doing all the work to establish the Pokemon League in Alola, I think sometimes it's a little easy to forget just how much weight this man was pulling throughout the story of Sun and Moon. Though after their talk, she unfortunately decides to use anger as the motivating factor to get people interested, as in she takes a note from pro wrestling to build herself up as a villain in order to pretend to be a really mean honor student and make people want to challenge her and take her down academically. Convoluted, yes, but it fits her perception of the situation, especially because she was influenced by the original formation of Team Star. But she also maintains her personality of being very caring for her team members to the point that she would sacrifice her own image to help her friends with their dream of filling up the school. It's kinda sweet. But with Giacomo and Penny there to talk her out of it, we can really see how Team Star has grown beyond what they were and are even better at communicating with and relying on each other. So the final plan they do go with is to show off her battle skills, which we already know are great, but during the exhibition match she makes it clear that she learned as much as she did by attending her academy back in Paldea, which by the way seems to have been Naranja Academy based on the color of her tie. In fact, every student and faculty character in the game so far has come from Naranja Academy based on their uniforms. And also we've only seen past Paradox Pokemon as sync pairs, so I'm curious when we'll ever see the Violet representation, given how the anime is also currently going with Scarlet mostly. Anyway, back to the story here. The three trainers from before end up being impressed by her battling and the Pasio Academy project continues moving forward. This event actually had a pretty good turnaround compared to the last one, so we should start seeing the other members of Team Star momentarily. For now, I think it was a great idea to showcase Giacomo and Eri first, because of how things went in the epilogue. We already learned a little more about the Team Star members who were struggling to adapt back into school life, so now focusing on the two top performers and giving them something to struggle with and grow from works out pretty well. In the video games, Team Star honestly functions more like a separate Pokemon League, so giving Eri this kind of responsibility fits her as basically a final gym leader, based on the levels of her Pokemon relative to everyone else. She's really looked up to by her fellow team members and classmates back home, and with her love of wrestling, it was a good idea to see her juggling her desires on and off stage in this setting. So let me know if you played through this event and what you thought about it. As always, I mentioned that I'll try to cover Pokemon Masters events and my thoughts on them for the channel based on your feedback every month or so I'm pretty interested to see where this story arc goes. Anyway, I should get back to preparing things for the eventual opening of the Pasio Academy. Thank you to every channel member for your support, including the Great Gators, Pastel Blood, Accidental Creation, Jamie Jensen, SB Junk, Castform 7, Victor Brine, DeAndre, Beowulf Arctidus, Adrift Shredder, Justin Dowes, Al Rome, Alex Switch Shiny Hunter, Tyler Hopper, Lockadox, Koi13, Cemetery Hill, Cosmo Zero, Rainfrux, Cheese at 62, Gatorcade 509, TF, Mathiclog 947, Tajirai, Justin R, Phantom, and Quago. If you would like to support, see your name here, get access to emotes for comments, live streams, sometimes early videos, and you can also listen to the podcast for members only, you can become a channel member today. You can also follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky for more memes. Anyway, this is GatorX, and I'll catch you all later.
You can discover new Pokémon and explore a world beyond your own. in Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon on Nintendo 3DS. Games rated everyone.